You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by demetrius-reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, what is up, guys? Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that is Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. We have another special guest, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now, and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. So, before I bring my guest on, did you know, you could be a few steps away? Take a few steps away from the chatter, the confusion, to a place where you can see more clearly. Take a few steps away and give yourself a new and empowering perspective. You'll see that much of what concerns you need not concern you. You see that the problems are more than overwhelmed by all the opportunities and positive possibilities. You'll see that many of the things which hold you back do so only with your consent. You'll see how easy it can be to let them go and let yourself move forward. I know I make that sound super easy. Trust me, I know it's a hard thing to do, but take a few steps away to a place where you can focus on what is truly important. It's a place where your purpose really matters, where your efforts truly and easily make a positive difference. Life is beautiful and is filled with an unending stream of wonderful possibilities. Take a few steps away from the noise and confusion, and you'll see the best of those possibilities come clearly into focus. Take that from me, Coach Dini. That is my word. Are you ready?
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that is Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Dini. Our interviews are designed to go beyond the music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these incredible human beings. You know, the ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, guys, again, welcome to the show where we bring you the most fascinating guests and insightful conversations. Today, we have the honor of hosting Eric Alonzo Moreno, better known by his stage name El Chico. As a singer, songwriter, and producer, El Chico's unique blend of alternative pop, folk music transcends genres and connects deeply with his audience. So get ready for an explosive and inspiring conversation with the incredible El Chico. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hello there, how you doing, Lynn?
Doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, It's been really hot here in LA recently, so trying to be, staying in the house for a little bit.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it, man. It's like every year summer just gets hotter and hotter and hotter. It's like I can't go anywhere to escape it.
Yeah, every year we're breaking records, and the hotter it gets, it's getting crazy every year.
Yeah, man. I used to have to put 2 change of clothes in my car and then get dressed when I get there because the air conditioning wouldn't work because it was too hot.
Yeah. Yeah, recently I was doing a work site with my dad, and in the place where we are working, they don't have air conditioning, so they only have.
Oh man.
I was, yeah, we were outside, just trying to be on the, uncovered from the sun because it was really bad to be like outside,
Yeah.
especially working in the afternoon.
Oh man, it gets hot like around 3, 4 o'clock. I think, man, the sun's about to go down, but it's the hottest at that point of day.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, welcome to the show again, man. It's a pleasure to have you. Could you start by telling our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you are currently focused on in your music career?
Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is El Chico. I'm a songwriter and producer. So basically, right now, as you know, I just released my latest release, which is "Do You Remember?" It's kind of like this kind of like folk, pop, and country song that is it's a little bit a mix of a weird combination, I would say, of a song, but it's still catchy you in some way. So basically, right now, I just doing my baby steps. I would call my baby steps in my music career. I just started releasing my last songs in this streaming public area, and right now I'm just focusing like to know people to know me and hear my music and hear what I have to say in a different way.
Absolutely, man. And we're going to play the song later on in the show so we get a chance to just be in the moment with you musically. Man, so thinking back on your journey so far, I don't know if you're big into like mindfulness or things like that, but if you are, what was like the biggest moment of self-awareness that you have experienced, and how has that shaped your path?
One of the things self-awareness is I never thought of to have a music career, in the beginning, especially in the early age. Uh, and now that I come more and more into the music, one of the things that more crazy gets is like music has been like in every moment of my life. Now that I think about it, it's go way beyond like way in the back when I was like probably like 8 years old, and I never put attention to it until like probably like the last 3 years. But I feel like music was already there, like trying to call me for me. Trying to like this is your path. You don't see it, but as the last 3 years, I'm like, oh boy, this is really like I feel like this is like, man, this is gonna be one day. It's gonna either call people attention some way.
Yeah, is it has it been like surreal? Like
Yeah, it's been
you
so.
can't believe it's happening?
Yeah, sometimes when I'm producing, especially when you're in the artist of creating something on your own, is one of the things that you struggle the most is like if this is good enough for the people, are they gonna like it? So, and the things, the most surreal that it gets is like sometimes when I'm producing and I pick the songs, I'm like, boy, this is good. And like sometimes I even own all my own art. And I'm very sure if you're an artist to hear this, I'm very sure they know, like, oh yeah, I've been there.
Hey, right. Man, you've had such a diverse journey from starting out in Tijuana and now you're in Cali. Like, what led to this move? That's huge.
You know, so basically, this the I born in Mexico, and part of my grandpa say the last alert. I believe I was like 8 years old. He was asking me if I wanted to come to the United States. Um, at the moment, I was excited because I was too much attached to my grandparents. and they were like, do you want to come to United States where as much of the picture they see is like this big country with a big opportunities, So I was like, maybe if I move to United States, maybe I have more opportunities in some way of my development of every career that I have. So what I feel like is especially with the music, when you move from one country to right here to California, where it's the heart of artists, where you have the chance to like shine to the world. I feel like if you wanted to hold the attention of people, you have to come here in California.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a smart move, even though you had to leave behind what you knew.
Yeah.
To these new experiences here, man, and now you have this journey that you're on now. You mentioned that you aim to connect with audience across multiple languages, multiple cultural barriers. How do you approach writing and performing in both English and Spanish?
It's kind of like a crazy things, because at the beginning of my journey, I was only thinking about composing and writing in Spanish, But most of my friends or people around me, they were like telling me like, you have better vision if you expand yourself to an English audience too and Spanish, because you will like mix a diversity of people. I like to call this the spaghetti theory. Like I mix everything that I know of my culture, of pop, and other cultures, mixing one is like I call the theory of the spaghetti, because you mix everything that you know of your culture with another one, and you got a new cool phenomenon of music. Especially with English and Spanish, I always when I'm composing, sometimes I compose the words are gonna come in English, and sometimes the words are gonna come in Spanish. So it's kind of like crazy stuff that I didn't even know how to explain it myself.
Okay, all right, man. And your journey began in music organically with your cousin's band. Can you share more about how these experiences shaped you as a musician?
Oh yeah. So basically, my cousin is in Florida. So I don't very much perform with him in public, but I wasn't behind the scenes. I always see him, composing or writing behind the scene, especially in his studios in Florida right now. So I always see him how they do it, and he also taught me in some ways to like how do you compose and how do you perform and how do you live music through your life, because some ways the music is big to people is you have experience in some ways or connections in music. So I feel like in some ways when his band or his music, he actually taught me like how's a musician life, I would say. How do you live or connect with people? How do you apply the music into your life?
Yeah. And right after COVID, what's the turning point for you where you turned professional, or you pursued the path to become a professional musician? How was that whole journey, especially with COVID leaving things? In my mind, it was like uncertainty. I was working a job actually, and I was like, man, do I even go back to work? Do I, stay home? Do I do this full time? Do I do that full time? What do I do? But for you, you turned professional. What was the main decision behind that?
Pretty much I was in my room, and I was that day my guitar was standing in one corner, which is kind of funny, and I just picked the guitar and I just started playing the first piece of my first song, which is You and Me. They just randomly start playing without even know what it was at. But I was like, man, this sounds good, you know. I should I should go and try to like, you know, to play music in some way, you know. I don't care if it's gonna take some time, but I feel like this is gonna connect some way to people, or if they're gonna feel connection in some way, you know. So it was like a crazy moment, especially after COVID, you know, because I feel like after COVID, it changed society in some ways. So I was like, man, if another pandemic happened, I don't have anything to lose, you know. At this point, it's like COVID show you that you can lose everything at some points, randomly at some points, and you don't even know, and you don't appreciate. So I'm like, let's go, let's do it, let's go for it, you know.
So you have an album, Songs for the Future, Echoes of the Past. That's a real dope title, by the way. It promised to be a rich blend of genres. What can fans expect from this new body of work that you're working on?
This is you know, gonna be very honest. It's really a really exciting album. It has everything in it. One of the first songs that I'm working right now has a R&B soul in it, some combination of pop with electropop. It's a really exploration album where I trying to perform everything that I know and like these crazy things that I feel like I can combine with music. So, and a little bit of nostalgia in that album, you know. So it's a really cool, exciting album that I feel like if people want to hear some nostalgia song or something that I feel so electro, so pop with movement, this is kind of like your album that you want to really get into your hands or really get like take a chance to dip in and hear by yourself, you know. I'm very sure they're not gonna get disappointment of it.
I'm sure they're not either, brother. I'm sure they're not, man. I can't wait to hear it myself. Guitar and piano play a very significant role in your music, and I really love that. You released another single, or you're releasing another single called Don't real soon. How does this track differ from the one we're going to play tonight, Do You Remember?
So this one is a really different song, maybe because the melody is really distant yourself for kind of like I want these songs to take you some different place, you know. Like in this zone music, you're gonna experience something really lofi and softly and really R&B, you know, something really distant with some combination of melodies out of, I would call out of, like it made you feel out of this world, especially with the vocals on it. It made you feel like you traveling to another planet or some kind of stuff, but you're still feeling like you're still in your room, you know. But I'm trying to take you to a journey of let's trying to explore some other world, you know.
Yeah, man, I love when music can do that, you know, take me to some other place or take me back in the past where I remember a certain thing. Like, man, this is the soundtrack to my life right here. I love when music can do that. All right, guys, let's get ready to play Do You Remember? And then we'll be right back to put El Chico in our traditional hot seat where he can perform for us if he wants to. He could rap, sing, play an instrument, tell a joke, tell a story from his life, give some advice, or do nothing at all. It's totally up to him. But for right now, here it is. Do You Remember? Stay tuned.
In the morning, I see the ocean blue and white. Ooh. Dreaming of the sky and the clouds. Singing, wishing the school driving you love, do you when we are old, remember these happy memories and ask you do you remember?
All right. Welcome back again. Do you remember? What a beautiful piece of music. All right. Let's go ahead and bring El Chico back. Yo, you're back live with us and in our hot seat. Are you going to perform for us?
You want that I perform for you?
If you want to, sir.
All right. Let's perform the beginning of the first verse of the song of Do You Remember, which I feel like is the best verse that I have ever composed, you know. It's one of the verse that I love for my song, you know. A little piece, but so you feel like it's not much different from the song, you know. So here we go. In the morning, I see the good. I need to fake the tune of guitar. My bad.
Oh, you're good, man.
As a musician, you're gonna struggle with that. Much of people know about this. When you start playing your guitar and you hear something is wrong, that's when you know that your guitar is not on the tune. All right, there you go. Let's get to it. In the morning, I see the ocean. Ooh, and why? Man, I don't remember the types of the song, you know. So I'm gonna sing you a cappella. This is gonna be the best scenario.
Okay.
So it says the verse one. In the morning, I see the ocean blue and white, dreaming of the sky and the clouds that that's one of the verse of Do You Remember? It's a really beautiful verse, which I feel like has much inspiration of the song, you know. Miss pretty much because when I was composing, I was looking at the close to the outside of the window, and I was taking the beautiful afternoon and the beautiful flowers, you know. And it's when I get inspired to write that first verse. It's one of those moments that you have when you're composing that I'm like, oh man, I have to write this stuff and then never let it go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically the verse of Do You Remember? One of the things about this song, and it's kind of funny, is at the release of the song, I mistyped Do You Remember, the word remember. By accident, I didn't write the B and the one B and one E, so I just released it like that, you know. And I was trying to look it up online by the right name and couldn't find it until my cousin says, "Man, you mistyped the name." I'm like, "Holy!" I had to go back and mix it. And this took me pretty much 2-3 days to fix it. And they asked me, "What are you gonna do when you ask you what happened?" I'm like, "Let's do the classic." It was part of the marketing all along.
Good one.
So yeah, that's basically Do You Remember? It's one of a special song, pretty much because it showed me for me that I can write and I can compose pretty much a complete song of a mix of different genres, you know.
Yeah, man, I love what you're doing, and I can't wait until the album comes out, man. It's gonna be dope.
Thank you. Still working on the album, you know. It's an exciting album. I feel like it's my first album, and I'm trying everything to to make it feel that it sounds right and really connects you with the audience.
Are you feeling any pressure since this is your first album?
Not really. You know what? One of the things that always comes to my mind is the doubt of your own talent. You know, especially with an album. You know, you start. There's some days when I feel like the sounds really dope, and my friends tell me when I send the feedback and say this sounds really good, even though that they told me and they give me good feedback, I still feel like it's not good enough, you know. I feel like it's one of the part of the struggle of the artist that has to go through, you know. That sometimes you're gonna doubt about your own art in some ways, you know. There's gonna be is this gonna be even good enough, or is this good? Even though that you know that it's good, just gonna have those days when you're gonna struggle and feel like, oh man, is it even good?
Yeah. What do you do when you have those kind of days?
Sometimes what I like to do sometimes is to draw, even though that I'm not a good draw person, you know. Just get your own piece of paper and draw to you whatever comes to your mind, you know.
Yeah.
Or sometimes walk and at night between 7 and 8 o'clock in the afternoon, walk through one of the blocks of the house. Sometimes that help you to clean your mind, you know, because I'm very sure you go through a lot, especially when you work or you go, exhaust you in some ways to your mind, you know. So I feel like sometimes walk outside, you know, clean your mind, or do something you like is gonna help you to process this kind of negative thoughts or some kind of struggles to yourself, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right. So your music often carries deep emotional touches to it. How do you channel your personal experiences and emotions into your songs without, giving too much away?
Sometimes it's really hard on it, when especially when there's moments when I'm into the emotion and I have to use it to, in the same day, I have to use that emotion to go to the songs, But there's some days that I don't feel nothing, so it's really tough to give that emotion in the songs, So you have to like really write a song, listen to the song, and give yourself like you feeling the story, or you getting like you feeling yourself in that story, that you living it. You have to feel it, and like in your own body or your soul, you have to imagine it in some ways, and like feel like this is your story.
Yeah.
Especially when it's really romantic songs, even though sometimes you have, especially when I have to write songs of love where I never live and I never go through, but I have to like get myself to it, like I really live it, even though that I don't live it, I never experience it. I have to make sure that I experience, like some ways I have experienced it, use that inspiration and feel in those emotions at the moment that I can, use it as I push myself to record the vocals right away and like make sure that it's good for the song,
Absolutely, man. So where can our listeners connect with you on the internet?
They can see me on Instagram. I have my own account on Instagram, which is Chico down dash Chico 3422. They can find me there, and I also have my Facebook account, which is also the same name, El Chico down dash Chico 3422. So they can find me there, and they can see all my updates, all of everything that I go through, everything that I working on it, especially if they go on Instagram, they can see my website. They can see all my last releases of my songs in there. And when the album is gonna come out, they also can check it out in there. Sometimes I do sneak peeks of the album, even though that it's not ready, so they feel like how it's gonna play or how it's gonna go.
I like that. All right, guys, just in case you need those links, no worries. I will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you guys have to do is just click the links. What an incredible conversation with El Chico, diving deep into his musical journey, the inspirations behind his latest single, Do You Remember, and the rich tapestry of his upcoming album, Songs for the Future, Echoes of the Past. We explored his unique approach to blending genres and connecting with audiences across cultural and linguistic barriers. So thank Chico for sharing your story and your insights with us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and I can't wait till the album drops. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope it goes well on the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night.
You too.
Hey, what's up, long time? I forgot to mention that, by the way, this is Deanie, Vigilantes Radio Live, VP of Operations for Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, Only One Theory dropped a new single. It is called La Jefecita. It's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, it's on all major platforms. You should check it out right now. Oh, and by the way, there's also a visual on YouTube. It's hot. Check it out today. onlyonetheory.com. Check that out too. Peace. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube,
the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com. And that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay, but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, and all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black-Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Dini, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Michael Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal. This award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.